So hello guys, welcome to the fourth lecture of the chapter quadratic equation. In the last lecture, that is the lecture number 3, third lecture, we saw how does the factorization method work, how to find the roots of the equation using the factorization method, and also we solved 4 examples based upon by using the factorization method. Right, now let's go ahead to the exercise guys. We'll be doing this entire exercise in this lecture. That's the exercise 4.2. So let's go with the first question first. Find the roots of the following quadratic equation by factorization. They have, in the first question, they have given us 5 sub-questions guys. For each of the question, what you have to do, we have to find the roots using factorization method. It's also called as the splitting the middle term method, right? So I'll draw a line here and I'll be doing the solution this side, right? Let me take the first question first. So the first question is like x square minus 3x minus 10 equal to 0, right? Now what we have to do, yeah guys, it's the same, right? You can you can try it by yourself simultaneously when I'm doing. So if you see the first term and the last term, if you multiply them, you're going to get 10. Now you have to split the middle term in such a way that the multiplication of the middle term is going to give you 10 minus 10, getting it? So how can you split it guys? So you can do it like minus 5x plus 2x. Minus 5x plus 2x is equal to minus 3x. Getting it? If you sum it up, you're going to get the middle term itself. But when you multiply, you're going to get minus 10x square. That is the multiplication of the first and the last term. So that's how we are going to do the split, right? So it is x square minus 5x plus 2 minus 10 equal to 0. Now if you see, if you sum this up, you're going to get minus 3 back, minus 3x back. Now if you multiply them, you're going to get minus 10x square back. Getting it? I mean, not back. I mean, you're going to get, if you multiply, you're going to get minus 10x square. So that's how it is, right? Now let's start taking the common. So as I said, what comes inside the bracket, we have to put it as it is. Guys, before watching this lecture, please make sure that you watch lecture number 3, right? Don't directly come into the exercise just because you saw the exercise in the title of the video. Just don't come in, because like if you see the third lecture, you'll be able to understand it much better. I can assure you that, right? So see the third lecture first. It's just 25 minutes something, and then you can come back to the fourth lecture, right? So you have to put the same term here, as I said you. This and all I have explained in the third lecture. That's why I'm saying this, right? This becomes like this. So it is x plus 2 to x minus 5, right? Just a minute guys. Yeah, so the roots are x equal to minus 2 and 5. How we got minus 2 and 5? If you equate both of these to 0, you're going to get this thing itself. Okay, for this question I'll do it. Equal to 0 and x minus 5 equal to 0. X will become equal to minus 2, and from here x will become equal to 5. Done. Now shall we go to the second sub question, right? Guys, if you see the second sub question, we already did it in the example, in the last lecture example with the same question, second sub question, right? It was 2x square plus x minus 6 equal to 0. We saw that first multiplication of the first and last term gives us minus 12x square. So we had to split the middle term in such a way that it gives us minus 12x square. So please watch the last lecture guys. We have done the same question in the last lecture in the example also. So it is 2x square plus 4x minus 3x minus 6 equal to 0. Right, in this way we splitted the middle term. So we are going to take 2x common. It's going to become like x plus 2. So the same x plus 2, you're going to write it here as well. Now we have to see by multiplying what term by what number you're going to get minus 3x square. So it is minus 3. Now you will start clubbing them. You will take x plus 2. From both the brackets, you'll take one bracket common. That is x plus 2. You'll take 1. And from this, you'll get one more. Right. Done. So these are the factors guys. So what's the solution from this? The solution is the roots are x plus 2 equal to 0 you have to do, and 2x minus 3 equal to 0 you have to do. Then x you will get as minus 2, and from here x you will get as 3 by 2. Done. That's it guys, as simple as that. So the first two sub question of the first question we did. So now you can take the screenshot of this. I'll rub the board and start doing the rest sub questions. Done. Okay. Okay guys, now let's go to the third sub question. Third question is root 2x square plus 7x plus 5 root 2 equal to 0. Okay, I'll write it down here once. right? Now you have to split 7x in such a way that you are going to get the, okay, first let's multiply the first and last term and see it. If you multiply the first and last term, you'll get root 2 x square into 5 root 2. It becomes root 2 into root 2 becomes 2. So 5 into 2 becomes equal to 10 and 10x square. So the splitter, I mean the multiplication of first and last term is 10x square. So you have to split the middle term in such a way that you are going to get 10x square. So you'll split it like plus 2x plus 5x plus 5 root 2 equal to 0, right? Now what we'll do, now we'll start taking the common after splitting it like this. Okay, I'll take root 2x as common. So here it is x plus root 2. So this thing you'll write it same here as well. So here if you see 5 will be there in common, right? When you multiply 5 with both the terms, you're going to get these two terms here. So now the final factored equation is like this. Getting it, guys? So to find x, what we'll do, we'll equate both of them equal to 0. Root 2x plus 5 equal to 0 and x plus root 5 equal to 0, I mean root 2 equal to 0. From here you will get x equal to minus of root 2. This is one solution. Another solution is root 2x equal to minus 5, x equal to minus 5 by root 2. Getting it, guys? These are the two solutions of this question. Done. Now let's go to the fourth sub question. Right, here I'm not explaining more because in the third lecture itself I've thoroughly explained everything, right? So I don't want to explain the same thing again and again, so that, yeah, so I'm just doing it, right? I'm not explaining more, but yeah, I'm explaining all the important things. 2x square minus x plus 1 by 8 equal to 0. Okay, in this question, first thing what you have to do is take the LCM and simplify it, guys. That is 1 by 8 is there, no? So LCM and we'll multiply it. There is 1 everywhere. So this is into 8, even this term into 8. So this becomes like 16x square minus 8x plus 1 by 8 is there. But this 8 when multiplied with the equal to, when cross multiplied, it will become 0 only. Getting it? So this is the equation, guys. Now if you see, you have to split minus 8x in such a way that you are going to get 16x square. So 4 into 4 is 16, right? So we'll split it as minus 4x minus 4x. 16x square minus 4x plus 1 equal to 0. Now let's take 4x common. It's like 4x minus 1 and 4x minus 1. Getting it, guys? So if you see, this you will take it to common and these two terms in one bracket, right? So you get like this. Now what you'll do, now you will equate both of them to equal to 0. So x minus 1, so you are going to get the same answer itself, equal to 0. So x becomes equal to 1 by 4. Here also 4x minus 1 equal to 0, x equal to 1 by 4. So these are the root of the equation, guys. So 1 by 4 is the root of the equation 4. I mean, yeah, question number sub question 4, right? That's it, guys. Now you can take the screenshot of this. I'll rub the board. Done. Took the screenshot. Okay, or shall I do the fifth question here itself? I think this is an easy one. So this space only will be enough, right? Oh, okay, or else I'll rub one part. Okay, so fifth question. Minus 20x plus 1 equal to 0. So this is your fifth question, guys. If you see at the middle term, of the first and last term is 100x square. So you have to split minus 20x in such a way that when you multiply them, you're going to get 100. It's very easy, guys. 10 and 10 gives you 100, right? 100x square minus 10x plus 1 equal to 0, right? Because when you multiply minus 10x into minus 10x, you're going to get 100. So let's take 10 in common. 10x, here 10x will come plus 1. So again 10x plus 1, right? So minus 1, we'll multiply it here. Just a minute. Okay, this is like minus 10x plus 1, minus 10x plus 1. Here it's only 1. Getting it? So it is like 10x plus 1, this common, and this one will take in common, minus 10x plus 1. These are the value of x. So 10x plus 1 equal to 0 and minus 10x plus 1 equal to 0. From here you will get x as equal to minus 1 by 10, and from here you will get x as equal to plus 1 by 10, because 1 minus of 1 and this minus which is here will get cancelled up, and so they'll become plus 1 by 10. Correct? No. What will happen? This will become minus 1. X will become equal to minus 1 by 10. I mean minus of minus 10. So it will become plus. So x equal to 1 by 10 and x equal to minus 1 by 10 are the solutions of the fifth sub question. So now I'll move ahead, guys. You can take the screenshot. After, let's go to the second main question of this exercise. Okay guys, now let's question, right? They're saying us to solve the problems given in example 1. Okay guys, if you remember, in example 1 there were 2 sub questions, and I said you right, we just formulated the equations. I said you right, I said you that in further in the exercise they may tell you to, they may give you the reference of the example and they may tell you to solve it. So here it comes, guys. So we have to solve these 2 equations. These are the 2 equations. If you want, you can go back to that lecture and watch it. It was lecture number 1 where we formulated these 2 equations. Now we have to solve them, right? Now in these 2 equations, if you see, guys, a bit different than what we have solved still now is the terms are very large here. Getting it? Still now we used to solve a bit smaller term relatively. The terms are very small. You might not know multiplying what into what you will get this term, right? Because that's how you are going to find the factors, by splitting the middle term. You won't know how to split the middle term because you won't know how to multiply them. I mean, which number multiplied by which number is going to give you this first term multiplied by last term. So what will you do for that, guys? There is a one method, but I don't know. Yeah, it is. It's a good method, guys. It is effective. So the thing is that you have to factorize the number. Last term 3 to 4, right? Now you have got to factorize the number. You know factorization, right? You have to just keep dividing it with prime numbers. Prime factorization, right? Do the prime factorization. When you divide by 2, it becomes 1, 6, 2. Again divide by 2, 81. Now if you say 81 is not divisible by 2, you have to divide by 3. If you divide by 3, it becomes 2, 7. Correct? Now again you can divide with 3. It becomes 9. Correct? No. Now again you can divide 9 with 3. It becomes 3, 3, 1. Getting it, guys? Still you get 1. You have to do the prime factorization. So the prime factorization you got like this. Now multiply any number with any number of numbers, and you have to create 2 numbers, right? You have to create 2 numbers. Multiply any number. For example, these 3 numbers you're multiplying and these 3 numbers you're multiplying. Now if you see this number plus this number, after multiplying them, you have to get this middle term. Getting it, guys? Make any combination. Getting it? Make any combination, but after the addition, that is the summing them, you have to get minus 45. Getting it? For example, if you multiply this becomes 4. 4 into 3 becomes 12. So this becomes 9 into 3, 27. Now if you add 12 and 27, you won't get 45. We have to do a combination in such a way that the addition, that is the addition, you will be getting as 45. So we have to take some other combination. Getting it? So what combination let's take? Okay, let's do one thing. Let's take 2 3s and let 3 into 3 be one side and let this thing be one side. So this becomes like how much? 2 into 2 4, 4 into 3 12, 12 into 3 36, and this becomes like 3 into 3 9. Now if you see, guys, if you add 36 and 9, you are getting 45. Correct? So these are the factors, guys. And also if you multiply these two, you are going to get 324. Getting it? So when you have a large number, what you have to do is, this step is most effective step, guys. I mean, this method is the most effective method. You have to do the prime factorization, and then after getting the prime factors of that number, combine them in such a way, make them into 2 numbers. You're going to first of all split it, right? So when you're splitting, multiply and split them in 2 ways, such that in such a way that you're going to get middle term, getting it? So we got 36 and 9. So now I'll rub this part, guys. We'll go ahead with the question, right? Okay. Now we got to know what are the splitted middle terms which we require. Okay, now after splitting we are going to write it like x square minus 36x minus 9x, because 36 and 9 we got the from the prime factorization, right? Plus 324 equal to 0. Now we'll start combining them. Okay, or else I'll do one thing, I'll rearrange it, guys. I'll write it like this: minus 9x minus 36x plus 324 equal to 0. Now I'll take x in common, right? So I'll take x in common. It will become like x into x plus 9. No, it's x minus 9. Oh. Sorry, guys. Done. Now we have to write the same x minus 9 here as well. And then this becomes like minus 36. Now if you see, you'll get like minus 36 and x minus 9. Now we have to, x will get us 36, and from here x will get us 9. These are the two values of x. That's it, guys. They said us to solve, we solved it. We got the value of x. So the first question is done. Right, now let's go to the second question. Second question, you see it as x square minus 55 plus 750. Now if you see here, guys, I know one thing, 25 into 30 is 750. I know that. Okay, 25 into 30, and also 25 minus 30 gives you 55. So I already got the factors. But if you didn't get it, so what you will do? You will do the prime factorization. That is 750, right? You will be doing the prime factorization. This becomes 375, and then you will keep dividing it, right? 3, 1, 2, 5, 3. No, here you will start dividing with 5, 25, 5, 5, 5, 1. Getting it, guys? Now if you see 30 and 25, right? So yeah, now if I multiply these two, from here I'll be getting 25 from these two combination, and from these three combination I'll be getting 30. Getting it? Now if you add 25 and 30, you're going to get minus 55. This is the method which you will be adopting to find the splitted middle terms, the two middle terms, right? Or else if you can do trial and error also, but it will take a really long time. So I would not advise you people that that method. Just a minute, guys. Okay, done. So the splitted middle term comes out to be 25x minus 30x plus 750 equal to 0, right? Now what we'll do, we'll take x in common, x minus 25, x minus 25, and here minus 30 outside. So x minus 30, x minus 25 are the two factors. Now if you equate it to 0, and x minus 25 equate to 0, you'll get x as equal to 30, and from here you'll get x as equal to 25. As simple as that, guys. So we got the value of x, right? X equal to 30 and x equal to 25 are the solution. That's it, guys. That's your second question. Now I'll move aside. You can take the screenshot of this. Let's go to the third question. Okay, guys. Now let's go to the third question. Third question says find two numbers whose sum is 27 and product is 182. Okay, guys. They're saying find two numbers whose sum is 27 and product is 182. That is, first let's assume, let the number be x. Now you can't assume let another number be y, because this is not pair of linear equation in two variable, guys. In this chapter, in quadratic equation there should be only one variable. Either it should be entirely in x or else in y. There can't be x and y both, right? So the other number will be 27 minus x. Getting it? Since they said, for example, let us take the other number to be y. For instance, x plus y is 27, which means the other number in terms of x will be equal to 27, x will go this side, minus x, right? So the other number is 27 minus x. Getting it? Since they gave sum as 27, that's the clue, guys. So the other number is 27 minus x. Oh shit. The other number is 27 minus x. Now they are saying the product is 182, which means if you multiply these two numbers you have to get 182. So done. Okay guys, now let's expand it. We'll just multiply it, right? So this becomes like 27x minus x square. I'll bring 182 this side on the LHS. It becomes minus 182 equal to 0. If I rearrange this properly, it becomes minus x square plus 27x minus 182 equal to 0. And one more thing guys, I said you right, in the first term itself if there is minus, we don't want it. So we'll multiply minus with the entire terms so that the first term will become positive, since minus into minus will become plus. So it becomes like x square minus x square minus 27x plus 182 equal to 0. Getting it guys? Now 182, now if you split this 27 number in such a way that when you are multiplying them you have to get 182, since here it is nothing, just 1, so here it is 182, so the multiplication of the first and the last term is 182 here. So split in such a way that you are going to get 182. We don't know how to split them, so what we'll do the prime factorization of 182 first, right? This becomes 91. Is it possible to divide with 3? No, I guess. With 7, yes, with 7 you can. It becomes 7 ones are 2 will be remaining, 3, okay, 13. Okay guys, then 1 came. So when 1 comes, you have to stop the prime factorization. So if you see here, we have to club them in such a way that their sum is going to give us 27, right? Okay, club them. Okay, I'll club these two first. 2 into 7 is 14 and this is 13 alone. Now if you see 13 plus 14 is 27, as simple as that guys. So the step to find the factors, I mean the splitted factors are, I mean that's not factors, the splitted term, I mean when you, okay guys, the term which you have to find, I mean after splitting the middle term, those two terms you are going to find from prime factorization by clubbing the terms. Now we club these two terms. After doing the prime factorization, we club these two terms to get 14 and we took this term alone to get 13. So 13 plus 14 is 27. So we could have combined in other way and we could have seen it also, right? You have to do trial and error here and we have to write it down now. Now we'll be writing like x square minus 14x minus 13x plus 182 equal to 0. Now I'll start taking common guys. If I take common, it becomes x minus 14, right? Just a minute. It becomes like, we'll take x in common. So inside x minus 14 will be remaining. Again here you have to write x minus 14 as it is. And outside what you'll write, since here minus 13x is there, you will write minus 13. Now we'll start, okay, now we'll go the further step to the factorization. It becomes x minus 14 into x minus 13. Now we have to find the value of, find the solution, right? So we'll equate it to 0 and even x minus 13 equated to 0. That time x will become equal to 14 and here x will become equal to 13. That's it guys, as simple as that. So we found the answer. So what are those two numbers? Find two numbers they said, right? Whose sum is 27 and product is 182. So these are those two numbers, 13 and 14. That's it guys. Now I'll move aside, you can take the screenshot. After this, let's go to the fourth main question. Okay guys, now let's go to the question. Fourth question says, find two consecutive positive integers, sum of whose 365. Okay, first let's assume, right? Solution, first assume consecutive positive integers be consecutive positive integers be x and x plus 1, right? Now they're telling the sum of whose squares. Okay, first you are going to square them and then you are going to add them. Sum of whose squares is equal to 365. From this condition itself you are going to get the, start expanding it. This becomes like x square plus this thing becomes x square plus, this is like a plus b the whole square, right? A square plus b square plus 2ab. 2ab plus b square equal to 365. Now I'll bring all the term towards LHS. So it becomes like 2x square plus 2x becomes equal to, minus 364 equal to 0. So this is the equation. We're going to split them. Before we split them, what we'll do? We'll take this thing, the prime factorization, so that we'll get the splitted terms, right? Of which number you will be taking the prime factorization now? Not of 364. Taking the prime factorization of 364 into 2, because you have to multiply the first and the last term, right? That time it becomes equal to 728. So you have to take 728. Getting it, guys? Okay, done. Okay. Right, no, this is by 3, no, by 7, prime factorization 7, this becomes, okay, this becomes 13, 1. Okay guys, this is the factorization. Now club them in such a way that their difference is going to be 2, because here 2 is there, right? You have to club them in such a way that their difference is going to be equal to 2. Okay guys, let's start clubbing them. So okay, if we do 13 into 2, it becomes 26. Now if we do 2 into 2, it becomes 4. 4 into 7 becomes equal to 28. Okay guys, so the difference is 2. Getting it? Between 28 and 26, the difference is 2. So this is the way we combined it. These three we clubbed it into 1, and these two we clubbed it into 1, from which we got 26, and from these three we got 28, right? So the term which we have to split is as 28 and 26. So here we have to split like plus 28x minus 26x minus 364 equal to 0, right? Now what we'll do? Now we'll take the terms in common, right? We'll do it here, guys. We'll do it here. So I'll take 2x in common, becomes x plus 14. So you have to write x plus 14 as it is here as well. So he will be writing minus 26, because here you have to get minus 26x. So you'll write minus 26. This becomes like minus 26 and x plus 14, right? Now we have to find the value of x. So we have to equate them to equal to 0 and equate minus 14. This becomes like 2x equal to 26, x becomes equal to 13. Okay guys, done. I'll tell you. Whose sum of squares is 365. Okay guys, positive integers. Here we have got negative integer, right? X value as we have got minus 14. So we are going to eliminate this answer. We have to just consider x equal to 13. So they said find two positive integers. So we got 13, which we had assumed as x. So first which we assumed is x, which we got as x equal to 13. And the second positive integer, that is the consecutive positive integer, is x plus 1, which means 13 plus 1, which is 14. So these two are the positive integers, guys. That's it, as simple as that. You have to just, the only tricky part is taking the factorization and knowing the terms. You have to club them in such a way that, see, one term you are splitting into two terms. That is called splitting the middle term. So you are going to club all the factors in two parts. Getting it? All the factors you are going to split it in two parts, such a way that the difference is going to give you the middle term. That is 2. So we found like 26 and 28, the difference is 2. So we clubbed in that way. After clubbing in that way, we club in that way that the difference which we get after clubbing them between those two clubbings should be equal to the middle term. That's the point, guys. That's it. Now you can take this. Okay guys, now let's go to the fifth question. Fifth question says the altitude of a right triangle is 7 cm less than its base. If the hypotenuse is 13 cm, find the other two sides. Okay guys, so the question is all about a right triangle, right? So right angled triangle whose height is 7 less than its base. Okay, so first assumption is that we will assume its base. So let its base be equal to x centimeter or x units. Okay, it's centimeter, x centimeter, and the height is x minus 7 centimeter. Getting it? And then they are given their hypotenuse to be equal to 13 centimeter. Done guys. Now we have to find the base and the height. So when you see a right angle triangle, what is that formula which always comes in your mind guys? And if it doesn't come, it has to come. That is the Pythagoras theorem. In any right triangle, majorly we will be using Pythagoras theorem, right? Like for many questions, we involve Pythagoras theorem when it is a right angle triangle. So even in this question, we'll be involving the same. So what we'll do? Okay, with these two things you are clear, right guys? Because they have said the altitude of a right triangle. Altitude means height is 7 less than its base. Okay, so first we consider base as x. 7 less than its base means x minus 7 is its altitude. So we consider it like that. And now and then the hypotenuse they gave us 13 centimeter. Now they are telling us to find these two sides. To find these two sides, if you find x, that's enough. If you find x, we'll get the base automatically. And if you minus 7 with that base, we are going to get the altitude because its altitude is x minus 7. So first now we'll apply the Pythagoras theorem guys. So applying Pythagoras theorem, right? So what is Pythagoras theorem guys? The square of hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of other two sides, right? So square of hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of other two sides, that is x square plus x minus 7 square. Okay, so now let's start expanding this. This becomes 13 square becomes equal to 13 into 13 is, what is it? 169. Okay, 169 equal to x square. This is a minus b the whole square. That is a square plus b square minus 2ab, which means a square plus b square is 49 minus 2 into a into b. Getting it guys? So this becomes like 2x square plus 49. Okay, I'll bring this 169 to RHS. We'll bring all the terms in one side and let 0 be in one side. Right, 2x square. Okay, I'll bring this term here first. Minus 14x. Right, minus 2 into 7 is 14 and x. Right, now if I bring this term, this will become minus. It will become like minus 169 plus 49. It becomes minus 120. Correct? No. Minus 120 equal to 0. So this is the equation guys. Getting it? Now if you see, you have to multiply these two. It becomes 2 into 120 is 240. Now you have to split the middle term in such a way that the multiplication of those splitted terms, those two terms which got split from this term, the multiplication of them should give you 240. Getting it guys? So actually I know the answer. It is like 24 and 10. It is minus 24 plus 10. Minus 24 and 10. If you multiply them, you are going to get 240, right? Which is same as the multiplication of first and the last term. So that's how we want to do it. Or else you can do the prime factorization if you don't know it already. Right? 240. Right? 240 by 2. 120 by 2. 60 by 2. 30 by 2. 15, 3, 5, 5, 1. So we did the prime factorization guys. Now you have to club them in such a way that you are going to get the net summation as 14. The difference you are going to get as 14, right? Okay. Now what I'll do is 2 and 5. Since I know it already, I am doing it directly. Or else you have to do the hit and trial method and find the combination. So here 2 into 5 I got as 10. Okay guys, so I am combining 2 and 5, it becomes 10. Now if I multiply all these terms together, it becomes like 2 into 2 4, 4 into 2 8, 8 into 3 becomes 24. Getting it? I said you right, 24 into 10 gives you 240. So that's the factor. It is 2x square minus 24x plus 10x minus 120 equal to 0. This becomes the equation. Now let's start taking common. 2x x minus 12, and here also x minus 12, and then 10 here because you need 10x, right? Now it becomes like x minus 12 into 2x plus 10, right? Okay, now what we have to do? Now we have, I guess it's not visible. Okay, I'll do it here. So it's like x minus 12 equal to 0 and 2x plus 10 equal to 0. Right, we have to equate it to 0. From here you will get us x equal to 12. And from here you will get us x equal to minus 10 by 2, that is minus 5. So guys, can length be in minus? No, right, it's not possible. A length cannot be in minus, it's a positive magnitude quantity. So it's a positive quantity, it can't be minus. So only thing which I have to consider is 12. So the base equal to 12, and the height equal to 12 minus 7, which is 5. Finally we found the base and the height which they asked us to find, the other two sides. That's it guys, as simple as that. You can write like base equal to x equal to 12, altitude equal to 12 minus x equal to 12 minus, x minus 5, it's x minus 5, which is nothing but equal to 12 minus 5, which is equal to 7. 12 centimeters and 7 centimeters, as simple as that guys. That's it, right? So your fifth question is done. Now I most you can take the screenshot of this. Let's go to the sixth question. Okay guys, now let's go to question number 6. Question number 6 is, a cottage industry produces a certain number of pottery articles in a day. It was observed on a particular day that the cost of production of each article in rupees is 3 more than twice the number of articles produced on that day. If the total cost of production on that day was rupees 90, find the number of articles produced and the cost of each article. Okay guys, this question is quite similar to the question which we had done in an example. Right, out of those 4 examples in the last lecture, if you see, I think one example was very similar to this question. So what we did guys, so first thing is assumption of the variable, right? As what we are going to assume as x, we'll assume find the number of article produced, right? So what we have to find, that's what we are going to assume. All the question we are doing the same thing. What we have to find is what we have to assume into the variable. So let the number of articles produced be equal to x. Produced be equal to x. Now if the total cost was 90 rupees, how is cost calculated guys? So guys, for example, if this marker is say 30 rupees, if I buy 3 marker, it's going to be 3 into 30, that is 90. So it is number of quantity into the price of each marker, that is price of each quantity gives us the total cost, right? So if this is the number of article into the price of each article is going to give you the total price, which they have given as 90. So number of articles into price of each article they have given us, it is it is 3 more than twice, 3 more than twice, plus 3 more than twice of the number of articles is the price. So number of articles into the price is equal to 90 rupees. That's it guys. So formulation of the quadratic equation is over. Now let's start expand it and bring it in a standard form. You're going to multiply like this. It's going to become 2x square plus 3x. I'll bring 90 towards LHS. It becomes minus 90 equal to 0. Now if you see guys, what we have to do, we have to split the middle term in such a way that the multiplication of that middle term you are going to get as 180, getting it, and the difference you are going to get as 3. So what would it be? 180, 10 into 18 is 180, but the difference is in 3, correct? No. Okay guys, we'll do the factorization and find it, right? If you don't know to find it, we'll do the factorization if you are not getting it. So 180 we have to factorize because multiplication of the first term and the last term gives us 180 by 2. It becomes 90. By 2 becomes 45. By 3 becomes 15. By 3 becomes 5. 5, 1. Okay, so this is the factorization. Now we have to group them in such a way that the difference after grouping is 3. Getting it, guys? We have to, in group, it will be in multiplied form, right? The numbers would have been multiplied, and among those, between those two groups, the difference should be 3. Okay, so let's start doing trial and error. So 2 into 2 is 4, 4 into 3 is 12, and 3 into 5 is 15. Yes, guys, so 12 and 3, what is the difference? 3 is the difference between them, right? Between 12 and 3, how much is the difference? I mean 12 and 15, how much is the difference? 3, that's what we want, right? We want, see, this is one grouping, and this is one grouping, and the difference between these two grouping is 3, that's all we want, right? So the grouping is done, difference is found, and if you multiply this grouping, you're getting 12, and this grouping it is 15. So you can write it now. Plus 15x. If you want to get 3x, you have to do plus 15x minus 12x. Sign you have to take care, guys, because only then you will be getting 3x, right? If you add 12 and 15, you're not going to get 3x. If you subtract 12x minus 15x, you will get minus 3x. We want plus 3x. So what we'll do? So we'll take 15, that is the larger number as plus. So plus 15x minus 12x minus 90 equal to 0. Done. Now what we'll do? We'll start taking common. If you see, guys, between these two terms you can't take common because this is an even number and this is an odd number. There is no, if we can't take anything common in them, right? So what we'll do? We'll rearrange now. 2x square minus 12x plus 15x minus 90 equal to 0. Now we can take common because these two are even numbers and these two are odd numbers. Also there is some common multiplication possible, right? So 2x will take in common, x here minus 6 here. So x minus 6 will write it as it is, right? And then 15 here. So it is 2x plus 15 multiplied by x minus 6. Now we have to find the value of x, right? Okay. Now what we'll do, we'll equate these two equal to 0, then we'll get the value of x. We'll do one thing now. We'll rub this factorization. So that we have some space. Right. Now what we'll do, 2x plus 15 equal to 0 and the other side x minus 6 equal to 0. Done. Now we'll write 2x equal to minus 15, x equal to minus 15 by 2. Done. Now here you will get x as equal to 6. Now if you see, guys, can quantity be negative? Negative quantity doesn't make any sense. So this is cancelled. So x equal to 6 is our answer, which means they said us to find number of articles produced and the cost of each article. Okay, so the number of articles produced is x, which is nothing but equal to 6. Right, so here I'll write the conclusion. The this is the short form of number of, but in your exam you have to write it in long form, right? Articles produced equal to 6 and the cost is equal to what we assumed cost as 2x plus 3. 2x plus 3, which is nothing but equal to 2 into 6 plus 3, which is nothing but equal to 18 plus 3, 21 rupees. That's it, guys. We found the number of articles and the cost of articles. From this question, okay, move aside, guys. You can take the screenshot now. Done. Took the screenshot. Okay, guys. After finishing this question, we are done with the exercise 4.2. Right. So, congrats for that, guys. Still coming this far. And yeah, guys, this is the end of this lecture. And in next lecture we'll be seeing a new concept, that is completing the square method, by which we can find the roots of the quadratic equation. This was the first method to find the roots of the quadratic equation, that is factorization method. In this exercise it's getting over, but make sure that you keep practicing it and so that you people don't forget it. So that's it for now, guys. Keep solving few problems from reference books, from internet. Keep trying out the questions. That's it for now, guys. Until then, bye. Meet you in the next lecture.